Hey guys, this is your girl Kiba right here in Kiba Space, and today we will be working on something great because we are in the month of October. It's breast cancer month. Everybody knows somebody who had cancer, who may have breast cancer. I myself, my very own sister had breast cancer. So today we're going to be working, this month we're going to actually be working on pastries, and so we're going to work on some coconut tart. So happy Tuesday everybody, and let's get to work on some coconut tart. So first let me get some ingredients and show you what I have cooking up. So you're gonna need 6 cups of flour, and you're gonna need some butter, you're gonna need some lard, weigh out your lard, a little bit of salt. Yes, I finally got my very own bottle of Angostura bitters and water. You're gonna need a little bit of coloring to get that lovely pink, some chopped coconut. This is 2 whole coconut, people, chopped for you. Yes, fresh coconut, not the one from Trader Joe's. And you're gonna need some nice ice water. All right, let's get to work. All right, so first of all, you need your butter to be nice and cold for flaky pastry. We're working on some flaky pastry, and once you have that flaky pastry, you can go ahead and you can make a whole bunch of stuff. So the first thing we're working on this week will be coconut tart, making that nice pink dessert, nice pink. Make sure the pastry comes out nice and flaky. Make sure this is nice and cold. I don't have that much lard. I'm winging it because I ran out. You want it to be nice and tough, and you want nice squares. So you're gonna need some ice water for pastry, and I like to put a little bit of bitters. Some people like lime. Go ahead, use what you have. So this adds flavor, and since the recipe is, you need about a quarter teaspoon of salt. You don't need a lot of salt. And here we go. So you're not kneading, but you're pulling together these lovely things with water. All right, so this is also the bowl. And you don't want excess flour. You just want to roll in full. You're initially melting water into the flour. And you do this until all of your butter has melted through the flour. If it's getting too warm, if it's too humid, you stop the process. You put it back in your fridge or in your freezer real quick, and then you come back and you do it all again. But that's why you make sure that your butter and your lard, or your butter or your lard, whichever one you use, or if you're using, like me, if you're using a little bit of each, then you go back. But you're creating air pockets in the pastry, so that's what makes it a flaky pastry. All the butter, use the same pastry for. If you want to make a croissant, you use the same pastry, except you put a big block of butter, and that pastry is killer, because you have to melt now a huge block of butter for a croissant. So you tuck. And you fold. Okay guys, tuck and you fold. So we're still rolling and folding and tucking. And sealing off. So my butter is not quite melt. So I'm gonna put this bad boy in the fridge to rest a little bit. And then I'm gonna bring it back out and finish it because it's starting to get very, very soft. And I don't like that. And I'm gonna rest it on the shelf just to chill a little bit, and then we'll get back to it. And so we have, this is 2 cups. This not even 2 cups, I should say. This is 2 coconut grated. There we go again, me with the little pots. Hope I don't live to regret this. But yeah, so I put mine in the blender. So I have 2 blended coconut. Yes. So on medium. And then you want to season it up. So I have a nice piece of spice cinnamon stick straight from Grenada. Yes. And I'm gonna put some essence in there because you know we do nothing. No pastry happens. No pastry happens without essence. And this essence is straight from Trinidad, Henry Street to be exact. So it's real strong. And we're gonna let that cook out. And I like to put a little sugar, a little salt. It just wakes up the flavors. See that? Just like a half. Yes. So here's what we'll do. We'll put another half cup of brown sugar. Look at me, people. Grandma singing some kind of song in my head like, what you doing? You know we just use brown sugar. What you doing? Hearing her. So we're gonna let that come to a boil and come down, and then we'll come back and check it. Okay guys, so it's been 40 minutes of boiling, and as you can see it is still a little bit runny, but you can thicken it up with some cornstarch if you want, or you can leave it to dry out a little longer. I'm gonna take it off now. I'm not gonna add that cornstarch because Granny didn't do that, but I'm just gonna let it dry out on its own. I'm just gonna turn it down a little more and let it dry out on its own because you know. So let me taste it and see. Has enough sugar. It's not too sweet. So I'm gonna give it like a 5 minutes again, and then I'm gonna come back and take it out. So this is the final product. It's nice, and that is the filling for our tart, nice and pink. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna use half of this because this is a lot to do. Look at that, guys. Isn't that just pretty? Yeah. So I'm gonna save the pastry because you can do multiple things with pastry, with freaky pastry, that is. Flour so that it alright. I have my oven on 350 degrees, guys. And flour is relaxed and ready to go. I mean, you can make whatever shape you desire. but yeah. So that'll be 4 right there. I don't know what shape that's gonna be. So we'll do a couple different shapes. All right. So we're hoping that everybody can see. All right. And I'm accustomed doing things in large quantity and then closing up everything in large quantity. So go ahead, try some coconut tart, guys. You close first, you seal, and then you get that nice pattern with the fork, and that's how we make tart. So first you bake pastry on very, very high heat, so 350, 375, and then you bring it down. Normally when you have stuff that needs to cook on the inside, you cook to 375, and then you bring it back down to 325 or 300. So the water is used to seal, and then the fork is used to highlight that closing. And I really like the filling, you guys. So if anybody need a recipe, if you can't follow, you have any questions, call your girl, shoot me a question in the bottom. I'll answer your question. I'll tell you how to make flaky pastry. All right. I mean, you could make whatever lengths you want if you want them circulars, but my grandmother just always did tarts lengthways, and so I always do tart lengthways as well. You close because you have the water. Remember, you have to move very fast because the pastry is losing its integrity. Sometimes if you want the pastry to get back its niceness, you put it in the freezer for a little bit and it'll firm up, and then you bake. Okay, so I rest this briefly for like 5 minutes in the oven. I have an egg beaten. You can mix the egg with milk, or if you're vegan and you want to just use milk, well, vegans don't use milk, what am I saying, but you brush with a little bit of egg wash, and that gives you a nice crust on the top for your tart. We'll put that in. It's on 350. We'll put that in now on the top for 25 minutes and see what happens. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Okay, so it's been 40 minutes at 350 degrees, and this is what we look like. It is pretty. Let's take that off. Let's let that cool for a little bit, and then we'll try it out. And there you go. These bad boys are cooling, and they're so pretty. I can almost cry. They are so pretty. So guys, 2 tips I want to tell you about. These take a while to make. These take a little over 2 hours, 2 hours and a half in making. You can pre-made your pastry from the day before and keep them in, and then work on your coconut filling. So if you make this, make sure you have a lot of time. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, I cook these at 350 for about 45 minutes. You can cook this at 375 and then take the heat down, 375 for half an hour, and then the next 10 minutes, and you get a different texture to the dough. But I had fun making this evening. I hope you will too, as well as you need to go ahead and support breast cancer wherever you are. There's lots of people going through cancer. You might have a friend, you might know somebody who has a friend, you might have a family member. I know I had a family member. So go ahead and support Breast Cancer Month in October, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Let me show you how flaky these are. Do you hear that? Pink for breast cancer, guys. So if you have a question, you want to shout out, tell me something. If you have somebody who has cancer, I'm with you. Pink for Breast Cancer Month. Happy October, guys. I'll see you next time right here, guys. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for the next video and check me out. Alright guys, see you next time. Be safe. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Why their songs so flat?